All right, all right, all right. SOP fam. Gotta turn that down. SOPs, how are we doing? My name is Connor, and it looks like my camera is refusing to work, so that's fine. We'll just rock with my little avatar here. Okay, so this is well, yeah, it's Connor. Manu, how you doing? First, I want to shout out our new member here. Larry Stover became a all-star YouTube member. Larry Stover, thank you very much. You now have access to emojis and I think it's discounted merch and members-only live streams. I plan on doing the members-only live streams uh, probably once a week, maybe. Um, and I just have to figure out how to do that. Anu Wiseman, how are we doing? Daniel Young. Okay, so let me figure out how to work stream on here. Manu Wiseman saying he's surprised by the early start. Well, I wanted to get started early. It's almost 2 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone, so I figured, why the hell not? Might as well introduce myself. Daniel Young saying hello to everybody here in the chat. Hello, Daniel. And we have Bernardo. Hello, Bernardo. It's not Mike, it is Connor. And we have Benny here saying, please be Mike again. I'm not Mike, I am Connor. So, if you guys, first announcement, let me share my screen. 1 second here. Okay. So, first announcement, I am seeing a SO Peeps Fantasy MLS League. If you would like to play, you will need to create a account. It is free to create a MLS Fantasy account, and you can click the link at the top of the chat to join our SO Peeps. We need at least 4 people in here. 1 second. Wait, which one is my camera? Okay, this one's the camera. Give me 1 second. Is it not gonna work? Okay, let's try. Okay, it was working. Okay, so where was that? Oh yeah, so the SO Peeps Fantasy League. It is at the top of the chat here. We need at least 4 people to join in order to be a official head-to-head league. I believe you get 100 million to spend on your team, and each player costs a different amount. It's completely free to play. It's free to sign up. I just created this league to give everybody a little extra incentive and something to play. So I'm going to go ahead and run through my team. Please say anything in the chat. And if you want to join, the league, just click the link at the top of the chat. You will need to create an account if you have not already. So just to go through my starters consist of goalkeeper Andre Blake. Actually, let me change that 1 second. Just because the crew play. Okay. So now my team consists of goal. My defenders are, as you can see, I'm playing a 4-4-2 here. I believe it's the only formation you can play in the MLS Fantasy. Spears but I'm playing a 4-4-2 here. I got Petrovic and Goldberg. I believe Petrovic has Manchester United. Keeping an eye on him for the Reds, and the Reds play New England as well. Then my defenders, I got Jake Elliott. I think that's Jake Elliott. Anyway, I got Elliott, okay, so pretty much I'm going to give you guys the rundown of fantasy here. I'm just going to talk about, I will also give their price tags here. So first up, I'm going to start with Petrovic. He has a price tag of 6.5 million, and he averages 6.45 points a week, and he had 129 total points last season. His projected score is a 4.4 versus Charlotte. I think Petrovic will have a lot more saves against Charlotte. That Charlotte attack just looks meh to me. And by the way, let me know if you guys can hear me. Anyway, that attack just looks meh. I think they added a few more. I know they added somebody from Burnley. Hold on. Okay, so they did sign Ashley Westwood in the offseason from Burnley to add to the attack, but I think Petrovic is going to get at least maybe 7 points. He's definitely a goalkeeper you want to keep an eye out. We already started, Larry. And by the way, thank you for becoming an all-star. You now have access to perks like I think you have discounted merch, members only streams, which I will pick a members only stream each week and figure out how to do that. And you can just hang out and chill in there and chat with other members. Yeah, so definitely right now we're just going through fantasy. I'm just going through my team and just talking about the players here. So yeah, Petrovic is definitely a goalkeeper you want to keep an eye on. Most goalkeepers that are not named Andre Blake are like over here. So a lot of these goalkeepers who are not named Andre Blake are like 6.5 mil. Then you got other goalkeeping choices over here. They're relatively cheap in the 6.5 range. You got Stuver, Johnson, Hills, Guzan, Pays, I think, Bond, Crepeau, Cornell, St. Clair, Fry, Room. He's out this week against Philadelphia. Room is out this week against Philadelphia because of green papers and visa issues. So he had to go back to the Netherlands to get that sorted out. Pedro Gillespie is another good option. And then you get into the 6.0. Hazel is a guy. Vancouver, he averaged 4.88 last season. That's not bad, and he's relatively cheap compared to these. He's like 0.5 cheaper than relatively to these other keepers. So if you're looking for a cheaper option, I would go definitely go with Hazel. And let's go ahead and go to my defense. So I'm playing a 4-4-2 here. My defense is relatively cheap, and it goes anywhere from 7 million to 6 million here. Let's start with Elliott. He cost 7 million, and he averaged 6.88 points a game last season, which is pretty solid for a defender. By the way, guys, let me know in the chat if you're playing MLS Fantasy, if you're going to join the SO Peeps League. It's a head-to-head league, so you will be playing somebody else every week. As you can see here, he had 220 total points last season, one of the better defenders last season, and he's owned by 10.49% of the MLS fantasy players, and he's projected to get 7.7 versus Columbus. By the way, guys, I will get into my previews, and I will open a spreadsheet, and we can talk about. What's up, Isaiah? I'm just going through my fantasy team right now. If you want to join the SO Peeps Fantasy League, just scroll up in the chat, hit that link. You may need to create an account. So I'm just running through my fantasy team. This is my first year playing MLS Fantasy, but I do have experience playing FPL, Fantasy Premier League. So I'm just giving my experience and who I think will kind of break out this year. Elliot, let's get back to Elliot. I honestly, call me biased because I'm a Columbus fan. Columbus has one of the better attacks in the whole league. So I think this 7.7 is pretty solid. I mean, they got her. If it all depends on if Hernandez and Zelaya can link up. If they can be that link, then I think that's going to give the Philly back line a little bit of problems. And Philadelphia made it all the way to the. They made it all the way to the MLS Cup final last season, and they took LAFC to penalty kicks, and they had one of the better defenses in the league last year as well. So let me go here. Let me pull up last year's standings real quick. So Philadelphia, yeah. So Philly, if I get off of, yeah, let's get off of here. I think we can present another thing here. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to. Can I not present two screens at once? Give me 1 second. Okay, so Philadelphia. They finished first in the East last year. They were 19-10-5. They had 26 goals against and 72 goals for. That's a goal differential of 46. So I would definitely, if you are playing fantasy MLS this year, I would definitely try to pick up as many Union defense assets as you possibly can. My other defender, one of the most underrated defenders, in my opinion, Walker Zimmerman, he averaged 4.7 points. Oops. There we go. Point total and 41 points, and he's owned by 20.41% of players. He's projected to get 6.4 points versus New York City. I think that number should be a little bit higher. He should get at least 7.5, depending on what he does. New York City, they're kind of in a rebuild phase right now, and they don't have the best attack, in my personal opinion. There we go. In my personal opinion, I know they're in a rebuild, but I really don't know much about New York City because I'm not a New York City fan. This is why I wish BKL or DSO was in the chat right now, because I don't know much about New York City. But yes, I would definitely up Walker Zimmerman as well. He's 6.5 mil. He's relatively cheap. He's one of the better, cheaper defenders you'll see here on the fantasy market, but I would definitely give him a look at as well. Now over here we have Atlanta United defender Brooks Lennon, one of the most underrated defenders in my opinion, and he should get more looks at the national team. Let's see, what does Isaiah say here? Isaiah says, wondering how the defense around Walker will do. NYC has attackers that can score. They don't have strikers, but they share the load. That's what kind of concerns me with New York City, is that they don't have a true number 9. They loaned out Tati Castellanos, and it's according to the MLS Twitter space, they are Girona is looking to make that a permanent, because let me pull up the La Liga standings. So when we pull up the La Liga standings, so Girona currently sits in the middle of the pack at 11th, and Girona, I thought they were going to get relegated like right away, but they're right in the middle of the pack at 11th, ahead of behind Osasuna, Villarreal, and Malcora and Athletic Club. Girona has 7 wins, 6 draws, 9 losses, 27 points. Their goals for are 33 goals for, 33 goals against, with a goal differential of none. So I look for Girona to make the Castellanos loan permanent. New Wiseman says NYCFC has been dismantled since that MLS Cup win. Agreed. They lost a lot of their key players. They lost Sean Johnson to free agency. They lost Tati Castellanos to Spain. They're in a rebuild phase right now, and which is sad to see. Well, it's for the fans of the club. It's not sad to see for me as a Columbus fan, because Lucas just loves to score against New York City. Who's going to start in goal for New York City this year? I think goalkeeping is going to be a huge problem for New York City, because how can you just let one of the best goalkeepers just walk? Just say, all right, I'm leaving. I'm going to Toronto. Bye-bye. And anyway, back to MLS Fantasy here. Again, guys, I'm just showing you my team, giving you a little bit of tips. If you want to join the league, it is in the top of the chat. So just scroll up to the top of the chat. I don't know how to pin it. Can I pin? No, I can't pin. What does the star mean? Okay, I can't pin anything, so. But there is the link. The league code should be in there somewhere. Just click that link, and hopefully we can get some more people in. Anyway, New Wiseman, if you're still in here, if you want to talk up Brooks Lennon, you can go ahead. Brooks Lennon. So he's another defender I will look out for this season. He's one of the relatively cheaper defenders. He comes in at the same price as Walker Zimmerman at $6.5 million. He averaged 16.16 points last season, and he had a total point tally of 154 last season, and he's owned by 13.68% of players. This projected score right here that I have highlighted, the 5.8 projected points against San Jose. Now, San Jose is one of the worst teams in the league, and you're giving one of the better defenders in the league a 5.8. A 5.8 projected score versus one of the worst teams in the league. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. If you want my opinion, against San Jose, it's at home at Mercedes-Benz. It's going to be sold out. First game of the season. I would say Brooks Lennon, maybe a 7. I put him at a 7, 7.5, something like that for my personal projected score. But yes, he is definitely one of the better defenders in the league. And at $6.5 million, you're getting a bargain price. Next up, we have Matt Mingueza. Matt Mingueza, is it Miazga or Mingueza? Let's see. I just saw we have a chat from Isaiah saying, I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm talking out my ass right now because this is my first year playing fantasy MLS, and hopefully I can give people a little bit of advice here. The new Wiseman says Lennon has been very solid in the preseason, and now Miles Robinson is back. It will give Lennon a lot more flexibility as a winger. I agree. So it's Mioza. Okay, Matt Mioza. Okay. I agree with what you said there, Anu Wiseman. You're the Atlanta fan. I am not. So I'm going to take your word for it. But yeah, Lennon has been very solid from the United games that I watched and the games he played against us last season. All right, so next up, we got Matt Miazga. I might do a switch live on air here because he averaged 6.63 points last season, and he came in the summer transfer window, the June transfer window from Chelsea. Did he come in from Chelsea? I think he did. I think it was Chelsea. He's projected. He's owned by 20.11% of players, and he's projected to get 5.4 points versus Houston. I have no idea how Houston's going to do. So I say that's accurate. You know what? We're going to do a live change of defenders here on air, and I got 6.5. So chat, I got 6.5 here. Who should I bring in? So these are the guys I can afford for 6.5. I can afford Thiago Martins. I can afford Jonathan Mensah. I can afford Funtas. I can afford Morello, Araujo, Long, Koulibaly, Niels, Nathan. Who do you guys think I should bring in? He's part of the Chelsea loan army. I didn't know he played for us for a long time. I didn't know he played for Atlanta. I didn't know he played for Atlanta either. I couldn't find my words. So who should I bring in, chat? Who should I bring in as my fourth defender? I'm looking at Araujo. Araujo looks pretty nice. But the thing with Araujo is he got transferred to Barcelona. So I think when the summer window opens, he's out of there. Who do you guys think I should bring in? Waiting on some people to respond here. How much is Caleb Wiley? What club does he play for? Anu Wiseman. I might have to search by club because I don't think I can search by. Oh, I'm an idiot. Caleb. He's 5.0. So 2.59 points. Is he worth it, though? Does he start or does he come off the bench? What's up, Mike? How we doing? We're just going through my fantasy team. I created a fantasy league called the SO Peeps or something. I think it's at the top of the chat. So it's at the top of the chat if you want to join. We do need 4 people in order to play. And he shot me out. Thank you. I think this is the first time we've brought some fantasy MLS to the channel. This is my first year playing, so yeah. This is my first year playing, so it's like I'm just talking out of my backside here. Again, if you guys want to join, it's at the top of the chat. You know what? I'm bringing in. I'll tell you what. I'll get rid of Walls, and then I'll bring in. Araujo for 6.5. Okay, so Araujo, he's $6.5 million, one of the better, cheaper defenders you're going to get. Last season, he averaged 4.72 points a game, had 151 total points for the season, and he's owned by 1.93% of the players. And he's projected to get 3.5 points. 3.5 points this season. And I'm, let's see. I think he's going to have a career year since he might head to the U20 World Cup. Caleb also took over when Miles tore his Achilles. You know what? I think Caleb will be a good backup. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. He's 5.0. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're bringing in Caleb Wiley. Screw it. Somebody I can get for 5.5. I don't care who it is. I just want to bring in somebody cheap for the bench. Welcome to the team, Waterman. All right, so never mind. I know this is a season preview. All righty, Mike, take care. So I'm going to run through my midfielders and my forwards very, very quickly. First up, we have Sebastian Driussi. Driussi's one of the better midfielders in the league, even though he plays for Austin. Austin. He averaged 7.6 points a game last season. And he averaged 7.06 points a game last season. And he had a total of 240 points for the season. That's pretty solid. And he's owned by 36.83% of players. And he's projected to get 5.8 versus St. Louis. I would bump that up to 7.5. Driussi is one of the better players, one of the better midfielders in the whole league. And St. Louis is just unproven. I think he can get a goal or two against St. Louis. So definitely keep your eye out on Sebastian Driussi. He's $9 million. If you're looking to bring him in, I would bring him in now because I don't think Austin's fixtures get any easier after St. Louis. But if you want a proven goal scorer and one of the better midfielders in the league, I would go after Driussi right now. Next up, we have Paul Arriola, one of my favorite players. One of my favorite players for the national team. He gets a lot of stink for the national team. Fans on Twitter don't know why. He's a solid player. He's a reliable player. One of my personal favorite players to watch. He came over from DC last season. He's currently $8 million right now. Averaged 5.19 points last season, and he had a total of 166 points last season as well. He didn't score often, but he did when he did take his chances, and he put them in the back of the net when he took them in his own by 4.15% of players, and he's projected to get 5.4 percent, 5.4 points against Minnesota. I think against Minnesota, I would bump that up to a 6.5 because I feel like Arriola is going to get a goal against Minnesota. I just feel it in my gut. So yeah, if you're looking for a decent midfield player who starts, I would definitely go for Paul Arriola. Next up, we have Araujo from Orlando City. He's one of the cheaper midfielders. One of the better cheaper midfielders you will see. He's 6.5 mil. He averaged 3.84 points a game last season, and he had 119 total points. He's owned by 0.69% of players, which is pretty surprising. And he's projected to get 4.4 points versus the Red Bulls. You know what? We're going to make another change here, y'all. We're going to make another change. We're going to add another midfielder. I got 6.5. So who's a good midfielder to get for 6.5, y'all? A good midfielder. And you know what? We're going to get rid of Weah from Minnesota. Going to get rid of him as well. And we're going to get rid of this Waterman kid. This Waterman. Okay, so midfielders. Who is a good, decently priced midfielder that I can pick up? Because I only have 16.6. So who's a good, decently priced midfielder? Keep in mind, I still have to fill in 2 subs here. So trying to think, who's a good, decently priced midfielder? Excuse me, I've been talking a lot. How much do I have? You know what? We're going to go after Parks. Screw it. So, Keegan Parks, New York City, 7.5 mil, average 4.28 points. A game last season had a total of 77 points. Not sure if he will. You know what? Screw it. We're going to go with Lille. So, Lille, 4.6 points a game last season. He starts for Nashville, 125 total points for the season, and he's owned by 0.79% of players. I think Lille, if you're looking for a somewhat cheap option, Lille will be your answer, and he's projected to get 4.3 points versus New York City. I'll go ahead and say now that I think he can get a goal, maybe an assist to Honey Mukhtar, so probably bump that up to a 7, 8.5. And then let's just bring these guys back. And that brings me a mil over the limit. God darn it. 3.0. Is there anybody I can get for 3.0? 8.5. Just get a cheap defender, a cheap midfielder, because they'll never play. Josh Williams isn't it bad. So Josh Williams, Ryan, it is not Mike, it is Connor. Hello, Ryan. I will be taking over stream duties for Mike here. If you are interested, go to the top of the chat and join our fantasy league. We need at least 3 more people in order to play. Anyway, Josh Williams, if you're looking for a solid sub defender, he's 5 mil, averaged 3.55 points a game last season, 78 points, 78 total points. Last season, he's owned by 0.53% of players, and he's expected to give 4.2 versus Philly. I'll go ahead and whoa. I'm seeing code. I'm going to go ahead and add him. He's an okay option. He's an okay option. And let's just go ahead and get rid of that. And let's just bring in somebody for 3 mil to sit the bench. BKL says, "What's up, Connor? I see you doing the stream. How's the fantasy going?" The fantasy's going all right. Looking for more people to join. So if you want to click the top of the chat, gives you a link to join my league. We need at least 4 more people to join, and it is a head-to-head league, so you will be playing somebody different every week. Got 3.5. Who can I bring in for 3.5? Are all forwards 4.0? What kind of a ripoff is this? A goalkeeper, don't care who it is, 3.5. You got to be kidding me. Darn it. All right. You know what? I'll figure that S word out later. You probably, I need a forward, but they're all so expensive. 3.5. You know what? Josh Williams, bye-bye. Anyway, continuing with my midfield. I know the stream's been going on for 48 minutes and I've been talking off ahead. I promise after the fantasy, we'll get into the season. Next up, we have Lucas Zelarayan, one of my favorite players to play for the Crew. He's going to cost you a little bit more. He's sitting at 9.5. He's sitting at 9.5 right now. So he's going to cost you, and I have a feeling, depending on how he does, that price is going to go up to possibly 11 million. So I would buy him right now if you want a reliable attacking midfielder in your squad. I would buy him right here, right now. All right, we got Ryan. We got Ryan in the league. So Isaiah, brother BKO, if you want to join. Let's see. Isaiah Pashkin says Zella and Drusi are worth the charges, absolutely. And brother BKO agrees here. Zella Ryan, my favorite player. Hold on, let me. All right, 1 second. It just so happens to have that I have his jersey. First jersey I bought. And of course, what do you know? It's a Zelarayán jersey. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, W. Lurch Chase. What's a Lurch? Anyway, back to fantasy. Zelarayán had 206 total points last season, and he's owned by 5.31% of players, which surprised me a whole lot. And he's projected to get 6.3 versus Philadelphia. I feel like he's going to get a goal. It's either going to be a tap in or W purchase. That's actually not an authentic one. That's a replica, and it arrived like the first day of last season. So I bumped that up to maybe a 7.5, depending on if he gets an assist or a goal in the Philly game. And I also captained him. Call me biased, but I captained him. All right. You know what? I'll just get rid of all these bench players and worry about them later. Anyway, moving on to my forwards, we got MLS runner-up MLS newcomer of the year last season, Cucho Hernandez, one of the better forwards this season, one of the better number 9s, and he's going to cost you. He's going to cost you a whole lot more. Well, the same as Lucas Zelarayán. He's set at $9 million right now. If you're looking for a forward who can score goals, look no further than Cucho Hernandez. He averaged 6.2 points, 6.5 points last season, and 93 total points for coming in June. And he's owned by 8.24% of players, which I think is really surprising. And then he's expected to get 4.5 points versus Philly. I feel like he's going to get a goal, so maybe bump that up to a 6.5. But if you're looking for a player who's worth the $9 million, I would definitely go after Cucho Hernandez. And then another player who's worth the $9 million. I'm surprised they didn't price him at $10 million like they did Hany Mukhtar. But if you're looking for a reliable player, a forward who is an MLS Cup champion and a forward who can score goals, Carlos Vela. He's priced at $9 million to start the season. That will go up. So if you're looking to get a reliable forward, a forward who can score goals, I would go for Carlos Vela right now and buy him when he's at $9 million before his price goes up. So average points here. So is it not going to let me highlight the damn thing? Thank you. Okay, so average points 5.91 last season, total points 189, and this is surprisingly low. 11.6% of players own him. And he's projected to get 6.5 versus the LA Galaxy. I feel like he can score a goal or two. Or two. Is this Mike? Because I did not type that. That's kind of scary. If it's Mike, what's up? You kind of scared me for a second. I expect that to maybe go up to 8 points. But yeah, that is my starting 11 for MLS Fantasy, y'all. Hold on, let me fix this. So, for the bench, I'm going to go as cheap as possible, and we're going to bring in Hazel. And that puts me at 10.5. So we're just going to go cheap with a defender. Just going to go cheap as I can. What's the cheapest? The cheapest I can go, let's grab Walls. Hopefully I can spend another 4 million. Crap, I might be screwed. Let's just get Perry. Bring him in. And let's bring back whoever this was. And let's get rid of Hasel. And 4.5. We should cheap goalkeeper. We're going to go after 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Maro. Oh, wait, he's 5. Nope, he's 5. Nope, can't afford him. We're going to get Beavers. I like his last name. And there's my team. So, what do you guys think of my team? Before we get into the season preview, as we've been live for almost an hour. Alrighty, so hopefully I saved. If I did not save, I'm going to be pissed off. Did I save my team? Okay. Leagues. Oh, it's called SO Peeps. The league code. So we got Ryan, we got me, we got Mike. So we need one more player, guys. One more player. I will copy that. Put that in the chat. And then I'm just going to copy that. And I'm going to email it to myself real quickly. Excuse me, I need to get a drink of water. I'll be back 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm back. I apologize for leaving abruptly. I needed to wet my whistle. I've been talking for a long time. So let me can I not copy the all right, I'm gonna have to email this link to myself. One second. Delete that. Okay, so I got to and then we're gonna paste that. And then I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna send it to a few peeps. And let's go ahead and send Isaiah the link here. Alrighty, so I sent a few people the link, but let's go ahead and see. Alrighty, how many people are still in here before we get to our season preview? All right, so season preview and predictions are coming up next. Let me add this. And alrighty, so we're finally getting into the season preview and predictions portion of the show. Schedule is what I want. I'm going to get rid of this. All right, so here is my MLS Week 1 preview and predictions. I will keep a record. All right, let me save that. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the schedule and to the schedule. Share screen. Boom. Boom. All right. So first up, we have, let me zoom in. All right. So first up, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, we have New York City FC visiting Nashville. That is a 4:30 p.m. kickoff on Fox, and and by the way, guys, every single game. I got a couple comments here. Let's see. Ryan says, "Can't wait. Expecting good things from Toronto this season. I think you guys will make the play-in. To be honest with you, I'm a Crew fan, and Ryan is a new YouTube member. So welcome, Ryan. You have access to things like emojis and designated player. Welcome to the designated player market, to the designated player. I will have to update YouTube members here in a second. So Ryan, you do have access to members only streams. I will have to see when the Crew play and when TFC plays. I'm thinking about making a TFC game a members only stream where the members hang out and chit chat and whatnot. Anyway, back to the schedule. Thank you for joining the SO peeps. And I think you get emojis depending on what game's going on. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. All right. So first matchup of the opening weekend, a game we will not be live for. I've thought about going live for this game, but I decided against it because that would be 3 lives in the same day, 4 lives in a span of 2 days. So I decided against it because I will be completely worn out by the time we go live for El Tráfico. This game is on Fox, and it's slated for 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Kickoff is at 4:45. Excuse me. 4:55 p.m. Eastern. New York City, I don't know what to expect from them. Nashville, Mukhtar Sapong. I think Nashville has too much firepower. I'm going to go with Nashville to get the win 2-1 over New York City. Let me know your guys' predictions in the chat as well. Maybe, if it loads. Come on, laptop. Do it. You can do it. Come on, laptop. Good. Next up are 7:30 p.m. games. We have San Jose. We have San Jose. We have Atlanta. I don't see San Jose doing really much of anything in this match. I think Thiago Almada will score brace and make it 2-0 to Atlanta United. The game is in the Benz, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me double check that to see where that game is. I believe it's in the Benz. Oh, that's the Crew schedule. Yes, that game is in the Benz. The Benz is a tough place to get a win. And if you're San Jose, I don't think you're going to get a win at all. I think it's going to be a 2-0 thromping for Atlanta here. I believe Almada scores a brace as well. Next up, we have Charlotte in New England. This game is taking place in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this game can go either way. It can be a toss-up. I'm going to be honest here. I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw. I just don't see New England doing much of anything in this match. Charlotte, it's their second year in the league. They could pull an Austin and go all the way to the conference final. But I think Charlotte's just a little bit, maybe a year or two away from making it to the Eastern Conference final. Next up, we have Houston. We have Cincinnati hosting Houston. I see Cincinnati winning this one, 2-1. I see Brenner and Vasquez scoring the goals in that one. Next up, we have DC hosting Toronto. Kickoff for all these games are scheduled for 7:39 p.m. Eastern. I don't see DC doing much of anything. DC, Ryan, if you're in the chat, you can tell me a little bit about Toronto, but I don't see DC doing jack squat against Toronto. I think Toronto's going to go into Audi Field and take care of business. I think Toronto wins comfortably 3-0. I think Bernadeschi gets on the score sheet, and I think Lorenzo Insigne scores a brace. 3-0 to Toronto, and good start for Sean Johnson in net, keeping a clean sheet in that match. Next up, we have Inter Miami hosting CF Montreal. Montreal, they're going to be on a downward spiral this year. They're going to be on a downward spiral this year. I see Miami winning this one, winning comfortably. I'm going to say 2. You know what? I'm going to say 3-1 to Miami, just because Miami, they're just flat out better than Montreal. Isaiah Paskins says, "Vamonos Miami." That is a sentence I am never going to read again. So, yeah, got me there. New Wiseman says 30K in Nashville, 71K in Atlanta, 74K in Charlotte this Saturday. Who said that soccer doesn't work in the South? I definitely didn't say it. And then he says, Isaiah says here, someone in the Maxwell Discord picked Montreal to finish 8th in Miami. I don't mess with Discord anymore. I just deleted the app off my phone and said, yeah, I'm not messing with it. Next up, we got a toss-up as maybe, if it loads. If it loads. Please load. Thank you. Got a toss-up here. Orlando and New York and the New York Red Bulls. I see Kedar says Charlotte FC is going to win an MLS Cup this season. I like the enthusiasm. I like the enthusiasm. And Ryan says, laughing emoji. Ryan, what do you think about my 3-0 to Toronto prediction? I predicted Bernadeschi gets one and Lorenzo Insigne gets a brace. That's my prediction. That is my prediction. Hey now. Everybody can be confident. Anyway, Orlando hosting the New York Red Bulls. This is tough to pick. I'm going to have to go with the 2-1 edge for Orlando. I think Orlando just has the better I don't know. Orlando just has the better attack. They beat who did they beat? They beat the Rebs 2-1 in the last preseason game. And I watched a little bit of that game. Angus says, hello, Angus. Says, hello, Connor. Hello, Angus. How are we doing this fine? What is today? Thursday afternoon. So let me mess with some things with the StreamYard. Give me a second. I'm just trying to add backgrounds for and my computer froze. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Alrighty. Anyway, when that's getting loaded, onto there, let's go ahead and move on to our next match here. And when my laptop is deciding decides to throw a fit, we got one of our games. We got a game that we will be live for here on Sons of the Pitch, Soccer Central, Philadelphia hosting Columbus. So the thing about this matchup, so my streams are going to look at something a little like this. Can I not add a background? Oops. Okay, so I all right, so there is our first matchup of the SOP calendar, Columbus and Philly. Just letting you guys know now, I am trying to do every single club. So, and I am a Crew fan. So a lot of these 7:30 kickoff, 7:30 Eastern kickoffs, they all kick off at the same time. And I'm just letting you guys know now. I will be doing a lot of Crew watch along streams until about May 6th when the Crew have a bye week. And yeah, call me biased, but we're gonna rock and roll with that. Ryan says regarding about the TFC DC game, he says that he thinks they will win, but not sure about a clean sheet. He thinks maybe 3-1. Okay, so do you agree with me on the Toronto FC goal scores? The Bernadeschi and I think I said Insigne has a brace, and Angus says he's doing just fine, and he's just getting out of work. Nice. Still haven't heard back from the place I applied to, which is pretty disappointing because I want to buy a Cucho jersey. Anyway, for this game, big news out of the Columbus Crew Twitter sphere as I go to change my background for a second. Where is it? There it is. Okay. What was I gonna say? Okay. Eloy Room is not available for the season opener in Philadelphia due to immigration stuff and visas and green papers. Apparently, the story is he was in Florida training with the club, and then he was in Florida training with the club, and then he had to go all the way back to the Netherlands and reapply for a work visa and green papers. Story is it's something on the U.S. government side, but I don't know the full story. That's just all speculation on Crew Twitter. As for this game, Evan Bush will be starting, and I have a feeling I will say every swear word in the book this match. Again, this is a game that we will be live for here on Sons of the Pitch. The first of a triple header this opening weekend. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Anyway, Evan Bush will start in goal. Philly's tough, man. They're real tough. Made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Final. Philly's a tough place to play. I think it will be solved in a week. They're saying everything could be solved in a week, and he'll be back playing against DC for the home opener. This one's tough to call. It really is tough to call. I want to say a Crew win, but I think in reality, Philadelphia, tough place to play. Last year when we played in Philadelphia, it was a Eloy Room own goal. That was the deciding factor in that match. And man, I don't know, guys. I don't know. What's everybody's calling this match? Philadelphia Columbus. What's everybody saying? Tyler the Savage says, "Go Timbers." We'll get to them in a minute. Isaiah saying Philly. This is tough. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. I think a 1-1 draw is reasonable in this game. 1-1 draw. It's not. I don't know. It's not biased. Is what I'm trying to say. Although I will be extremely biased in the live stream, and I am going to use these live streams as a chance of for venting and to get all the swear words out of my system. Next up, we got hosting Angus McWhorter's own hometown club, St. Louis City SC. St. Louis opens up. This game is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis opens up in a tough environment in Austin. Their third year. Made it all the way to the conference final last year. I'm picking Austin. I'm picking Austin 3-1. I think Drusi scores a goal. I think Zardes gets a goal. And I don't know. The third one is up in the air for me, but I'm going ATX 3-1 over STL. Next up, we have sorry, I'm behind the 8 ball in these things. I don't know who's hosting who, so I have to click on the MLS app. And we have Dallas hosting Minnesota. Dallas made the playoffs last year to the conference semifinals, got knocked out by Austin. I think Dallas is going to handle business. In this one, it's going to be at home. I think Jesus Ferreira scores a goal. And I think Paul Arriola gets a goal as well. Paul Arriola gets a goal as well. And I think Dallas wins 2-1. Not sure who gets the goal for Minnesota. Minnesota, they've been kind of meh. On the meh side. But I am picking Dallas to win that match. Next up, we got the second game. We got the second game of our Saturday doubleheader, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the LA Galaxy taking on LAFC from the Rose Bowl. Guys, this match is going to be one heck of a match. I'm so excited for it. Here's what my thinking. I'm going to pick LAFC to win 3-2. I think Vela gets his 2 goals, and I think Acosta sneaks a goal in there as well. And I think Chicharito scores a brace in this one. The Rose Bowl is going to be electric. It's sold out. Taylor Twellman and what's his name are calling the game. They called the last Orlando New England preseason game. I really like their chemistry. I like Taylor Twellman too. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited to be doing this game live. It's going to be one heck of a game, y'all. I'm picking LAFC to win 3-2. Vela brace, Acosta goal, and I'm picking Chicharito to score 2 goals in that game as well. And to round out these Saturday games, we got the late kickoffs, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. First up, we have Portland hosting Sporting Kansas City from Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. Is there any other way to go in this matchup than the Portland Timbers? I don't see KC putting up much of a fight in Providence Park, but I do think they score a goal, and I think the man Tommy Goon will score for SKC, but it's going to be a consolation goal. But I think I don't know who the Timbers have. Who do they have on their roster? I am drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, I'm picking Portland to win 3-1 over SKC, over Sporting Kansas City. And finally, to round out these Saturday games, I am Vancouver hosting Real Salt Lake. It's in Vancouver. Vancouver's a better team. They got something to prove. They made the playoffs last year. Vancouver to win 2-1. It's going to be electric in there at BC Place. And then finally, to round out our weekend, Tyler, you gotta let me know who your prediction for that game and who scores, because I drew a blank when it comes to Timbers and their forwards. Excuse me. Next up, we have the last game of our weekend, the triple header. Seattle hosting the Colorado Rapids. The game is scheduled for coverage at 8 p.m. Eastern. Not sure what time it kicks off, though, but it is on national TV. It's the defending CONCACAF Champions League winners, the Seattle Sounders, the Colorado Rapids. Kickoff is scheduled for 8:25 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably go live about 8 o'clock, around 8 to 8:05 p.m. Eastern for this game, and we will go live about a couple of minutes before the game, about 15-ish, 10-ish minutes before the game, and then we'll go through lineups and whatnot. Isaiah says Colorado to draw Seattle, and Angus says go St. Louis. On the other hand, he's agreeing with me, Austin 3-1. And Isaiah says, as Rocky and Roy would say, the Seattle Sounders or Seattle Flounders. What about the Seattle Flanders? No? Simpsons reference? No? Okay, I'll stop talking. Lumen Field, expected to sell out. I'm going to go with the Seattle win 2-1. I think Rudy Diaz scores, and I think Jordan Morse scores as well. For Colorado, it's hard to pick who scores in that game, because I don't know much about Colorado and their forward. Says the Sounders have won 15 of their last 18 matches against the playoffs, including the last in a row. Seattle's .833 win percentage at home against Colorado is the highest in MLS history among the fixtures played at least 10 times. So yeah, it ain't looking good for the Colorado Rapids. Isaiah says Rudy Diaz hasn't been training, and he wouldn't bank on him playing. In that case, I feel like one of the Rodon brothers is going to get one, and I feel like Jordan Morris is going to get one. Not sure who's going to score for Colorado, because I don't know any of their forwards at all. Anyway, that wraps up the preview portion of today's broadcast. I'm not going to predict standings or anything like that, because it's just too much work. Okay, Rubio. I'm going to say Rubio gets the one for the Rapids. That's what I'm going to say. All right, so that ends the preview portion, the week one preview portion of the show. Monday, I will get week 2 streams scheduled, and I think Wednesday. So Wednesday around 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be live. I should be live for a week one preview. I don't know if I'm doing previews for week two. I know words. For a week one recap and review, and a week two preview and picks. If not, I don't know. So unless you guys have any questions in the chat or predictions for final standings, go ahead and get those down. I gotta take a whiz, so I will be right back, and I will get your final thoughts in. I'll be right back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'll be quick. All right, I am back. Let's just get everybody's final thoughts in here before I skedaddle. All right. Anybody have final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns? Excuse me. All right. Since nobody has any final thoughts, I will be ending the stream. Been live for an hour and 33 minutes, a little bit longer than I anticipated. I just want to say, all right, thank you guys for watching and listening to my fantasy talk. And I will catch you guys on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest in your Friday. I'll catch you guys Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern for Columbus and Philadelphia. And shortly after that, LAFC and the LA Galaxy. It's going to be a fun weekend of MLS soccer, guys. MLS soccer's back. Couldn't be more excited. All right. Peace out, everyone.